teach one. Sustainability. Why is that sustainability? Because if one person teaches the next person, they teach the next person, it keeps going with no effort. I mean, there's really no effort. It's like the male sheep and the female sheep getting together and producing a baby sheep, and then you've got wool from 3 sheep instead of 2. It's the same kind of thing. Let's talk about teaching, though, for a minute, so that makes some sense to you. The first teacher is the person who raises you. Could be your mother, but it might be your aunt or your stepmother or an adoptive mother or a sister. Whoever raised you taught you how to eat, taught you how to use the toilet, how to wash your hands, brush your teeth, put on your clothes, how to act, what to say. It just goes on and on and on. And as time goes by, you'll understand. You'll call your mom or whoever raised you. You call your grandmother, whoever is an influence, who's an older person. You'll ask questions. You're always having a teacher in your life. And you become a teacher. If you have a brother, a sister, a dog, a cat, a plant, you're always adapting something to something else because they need it or you want it, like cutting the tree, pruning a tree. You're teaching the tree the way you want it to look. And it's a funny thing. There are people who go into teaching as a profession because they know it's a solid paying profession. It has benefits at the end of your teaching period. There's an income, a pension. It's steady. You have the summers off. I mean, there's lots of things. It varies on where you're teaching. But on the other hand, we're always teaching. And maybe you don't want to teach it full time. But you will teach and you will learn and you learn more when you teach than the student you're teaching. And we all know that who are teachers. But many of us go into teaching because it's a passion. It's hard to explain. But those of you who might have seen some of my other videos know that I tell you to go down into the description and ask me questions. But I have yet to ask you to go down and subscribe or go down and like me or any of that. It'd be nice, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I want to teach you. I want your life to be full and rich. I want it to be joyful. I want it to be satisfying. I want to tell you what I've learned in nearly 8 decades. Wow. I look back. I mean, I'm an Aquarian. Okay, my sun, moon, and Mercury are all in Aquarius. And according to astrologers, this is the Aquarian age. And according to astrologers, the most humanitarian person in the 12 zodiac charts is the Aquarian. And since I've got 3 signs in Aquarius, conjunct with my Mars in Capricorn, which makes me a workaholic, it means I'm pushed to be a humanitarian. And it's worked out that way. In high school, I used to write to people in prisons through one of those things where you write the letter and it goes to somebody else and they send it to the prisoner and they send it back and it goes to you, that kind of thing. That's when we used to write letters. That was before email. It was before the internet. I said 8 decades, didn't I? Yeah, well, things were different then. I volunteered in school. Hey, no, Pixie. I'm teaching. I volunteered in nurseries in church. I volunteered in church camp. I've been a volunteer English teacher in Mexico and Ecuador. I still volunteer online as a teacher. Volunteer as a drug and alcohol counselor. I volunteered as a clergyman for 40 years. I'm a clergy for earth-centered religion, so I'm constantly trying my damnedest to teach people about taking care of the earth. That's my biggest thing, is take care of the earth. And that's where I've been least successful, because I talk. I do crocheting to try to encourage people to wear the pieces that I make, so that people can say, "Where'd you get that crocheted pin?" And then, or that crocheted wall hanging, and they say, "Well, this crazy old deep ecologist who wanted to let me know about taking care of the earth." But it hasn't done a lot of good, because we're all distracted by so many other things in life that taking care of the earth hasn't become a priority at this point. But you can't let anything like that stop you from teaching. That's the point. So often people will say, just do it. Don't quit. Keep it up. Practice. That counts to just everything in life. Everything in life. And the things I've seen, I mean, when my uncle taught me something, I'll never forget it. When my grandfather taught me something, I'll never forget it. My husband talks about a teacher who said one or two things that just reverberated in his head. If you have a drill sergeant, we both have a military background. If you have a drill sergeant, that's what replays in your head when you're in war without them, in battle without them, working without them. Every place you work, they usually have a training program or someone who shows you how. When I started waiting tables, there was someone who showed me what to do. And then I learned and watched other people. Teaching is an incredibly sustainable aspect to life. And it is usually in a common life, free. I mean, it costs a lot of money if you go to college and university or something like that, of course. But part of what you do in the college or university is learn from other students, and that doesn't cost. And of course, YouTube and Google and all those different DuckDuckGo, whatever you look up, you're going to learn something. And if you keep your curiosity, don't lose that. Don't lose that. Keep your curiosity. You'll always be looking for answers. And you can find them now. I mean, we used to have to go to the library and things like that, and things used to be so much harder to get clear answers for, and there were a lot of things you couldn't get any answers for. But you can now. Sounds like we have a cow very close. I think it's a bull. There's 2 bulls down there. Our landlord likes to bring the bulls in once in a while. I love it. You can't believe what you can learn from animals. Raising that baby owl that we raised, from the time its eyes weren't open, was an amazing experience. I can't tell you how much we learned from the baby owl. Did the same thing with a squirrel. Raised a squirrel from its eyes not being open. If you watch a puppy, you watch a kitten, you watch a baby, there's always something to learn. And remember, it's sustainable. And that's what we're looking for in life, is things that are sustainable. Every time we take a piece of gold out of the ground, it's not replaced, certainly not in our lifetimes. And in fact, that's one of the things I'd like to point out to you, is you can't really learn enough in your lifetime. That's why asking an old fart like myself about something is probably not a bad idea. I can't tell you how many things I wish my parents would have told me. There's also things I never asked, but there was a lot of things I asked that they wouldn't answer. And I wish they had, because they're gone. They're gone! Can't ask them now. Can't teach me anything now. Didn't leave anything behind. Sad, really sad. Dad did leave a poem behind on an incredibly white, fragile, yellowed It was white paper that had yellowed. It was very fragile, and it said, "Don't quit." And it was in a glass case, a frame. So I was able to keep that. But there's lots and lots and lots of things I wish he taught me. I had to learn myself. Learned how to fly an airplane. Learned how to teach other people how to fly an airplane. That's pretty exciting. Learned how to control a sailboat. Learned how to drive a RV. Learned how to use a backhoe. Cleaned out an area for a home with a backhoe. Learned how to drive a truck. Was not just an airline pilot, but was also a truck driver. There's a lot of things in life you can learn. And a lot of doors open when you learn things. I just encourage you to learn all you can. And teach what you learn from others. Because it's sustainable. If you pass it on, it doesn't necessarily ever go away. It becomes your legacy, which is why I'm sitting here today. That's why I started a YouTube channel at this incredible age of 79. Well, actually, I started it 3 or 4 years before, but I just didn't use it. But I decided that I've got things to say. And if I say them, like Michael Dowd and Joanna Macy, they're 2 spiritual leaders that I just have learned so much from, and I don't have to stop. Their videos are still out there. I can go and I can look, I can listen, and I can learn. They're gone. They're not on this planet anymore, but the memories are there. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm thinking, well, maybe someday people look at this and say, huh, that's who that was. I'll be damned. Glad she said something. That I can show that to my mom and she'll listen to me. Or something like that. Whatever you do with it, it's up to you. But just take my advice. Learn all you can. My dad used to say the best day to die is the day you learned nothing. Take that advice. Learn all you can. Ask questions. And when you get the answers, share them with somebody else. It's the greatest gift you can give another person. Trust me, it's the greatest gift you can give another person is a piece of knowledge, understanding, sincere words of encouragement. Priceless. Thank you for watching.